ultimately, the responsibility to be happy in this world is mine for me. Nobody is going to give me. Even if it is given from outside, it doesn't make much sense because it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to me only when it ultimately becomes my own innermost core of nature in a natural state. The practice of mindfulness, one of the most difficult thing that humans all over the planet is facing today is how to manage one's own mind. Because mind is a place where one can make hell out of heaven and heaven out of hell. And the researchers all over the world today, particularly in the Western world, in the field of neuroscience, in the field of quantum science, quantum physics, in the field of knowing the cellular science of biology, in the field of cosmology, in everything, we are again and again coming to only one single point. That is, if I could put it in one word, what I've understood is the most important thing that has been brought home today is the observer principle. That when we observe something, when we give our energy to something, when we put our singular attention to something, whatever it is, that energy becomes a transformative energy. That power of consciousness, once it is focused, it is a blessing. The whole concept of mindfulness is how we can become more and more aware about anything and everything that is going on inside of us, around us, in the space of our mind, our body, our intelligence, in the space outside of us, all around us, all the time. Because we are surrounded by space, isn't? Inside of us also is space, isn't? So there is this space inside and there is this space outside. And in it is everything that is manifest. But what has happened is that life in today's world is more and more becoming robotical. What is the element that the humans are missing in today's world? And why do you think meditation, mindfulness, yoga is becoming all over the world such an important practice in daily life in order to come back to sanity, some kind of peace, some kind of inner safety and security? Because the more the mind is extroverted, the more the mind is pulled out, more the mind has been convinced over a period of time. That's only through material satisfaction that we can ultimately find so-called happiness in life, which people all over the world have realized it is far from reality. Hence, the practice of mindfulness. And in this particular practice, what is most important is our essential conviction that there is a need for each one of us to find time for ourselves. We seem to find time for so many other things in our daily life. But we don't really find time when we could be exclusive with our breaths, exclusive with our mind and thoughts, exclusive to feel our own feelings and our own traumas if there are. We don't find time to really see what kind of thoughts truly really come. We say it's random, but what is the nature of this randomness? There is so much to know if one could just observe, as I said, to begin with. The moment you start to observe the thoughts of your mind, gradually and gradually the mind goes through the process of a continuous distillation, purification, detoxification. The mind gradually loses its material grossness and just starts becoming subtler and subtler. As the mind loses its grossness, its material format, you gradually start to grow into a more expansive view of life, not constricted view of life. A mindful person is a person who is compassionate, loving, caring, kind. Why? Because the practice of mindfulness basically brings to us a continual self awareness. You don't do things instinctively like any other species on earth. Humans are blessed, blessed beyond blessings, that we can be aware and conscious of anything we think, anything we do. Of course, it needs exclusive practice. And human is one species on this earth where the humans have to learn everything in life. It has to learn everything in life. Even to walk on both feet, humans have to learn. In the same manner, humans have to also learn how to quiet the mind, calm the mind. And a quiet, calm mind is naturally kind, understanding, compassionate, empathetic, loving, caring, nurturing. It's not that separately they have to, bring them into them in order to manifest. All that is needed is my vow, is my own promise to myself, and little bit of time every day to, you may ask me that then what do I do to become really, really mindful? It's very simple. Start with some smaller daily chores of your daily life. Start with anything you think. It could be simply walking, a mindful walking. It could be eating, as you must be hearing from all over the world. But it is one thing to collect this information intellectually, that if I can mindfully walk, if I can mindfully eat, if I can mindfully hear, if I can mindfully talk, I could be mindful. But it needs practice. When you walk, if you really walk with awareness, one day you will realize that your body walks, and you are only the knower of this fact that your body walks and you don't walk. Mindfulness will bring you to that stage one day wherein you will find that your mind is separate from you and you are the witness of your mind and not the thoughts of your mind, which binds you, fetters you, creates all the consequences of karma, and makes you go through all the turmoil and traumas of life. A mindful practice is essential in life because ultimately the responsibility to be happy in this world is mine for me. Nobody is going to give me. Even if it is given from outside, it doesn't make much sense because it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to me only when it ultimately becomes my own innermost core of nature in a natural state. Yes, take anything in your daily life. Let us say, even if you can sit for 5 minutes and say, now I know that I'm breathing in. Now I know I'm breathing out. In and out. And you can practice this simple observation of the breath and its natural nature of in and out, where the whole universe is breathing through you, in you, and you're just an instrument. And the whole life is presenting before you through this beautiful breath, the spirit. And here you are not separate from anything that is there in the cosmos, as if everything is the extension of that innermost core of your prana or your breath. It's an expansion of you in everything. Gradually, that can come provided we sit and meditate only on our breath, the incoming and the outgoing, to the extent that this pure observation will take us to a point where the breath will become subtler and subtler and subtler. And in that subtler and subtler and subtler state, it is prana, the all encompassing vital energy that animates the universes. As we get in touch with that subtler part of our sthula breath or gross breath, we touch the deeper chords of prana, the pranic vibration, and automatically all over the body, the entire current of that prana and the pranic vibrations is a huge healing for every soul of every cell of our body. And obviously, when such a healing happens inside of us, imagine how much good it will be to our heart, to our brain, to every organ of our body. Because after all, they are nothing but a community of cells. And if all the cells are gradually getting that message that you are getting healed and healed and healed, obviously, over a period of time, you see that you are healed. Both physically, mentally, emotionally, and essentially spiritually, to the extent that you realize that you are absolutely in a state of blissfulness, come what may happens in the outside world, as long as you are anchored to your true inner witnessing self or the self within the higher state of your purer mind. Mindfulness practice can gradually purify the mind to this state where the mind no longer attaches itself or gets identified with anything other than the pure state of its intrinsic spirit or the soul. That is the true fulfillment of human life. In that state, one is one with the one, and that oneness prevails. Thank you so much.